candles and presents, holiday sweaters, latkes and sufganiyot. It's a great holiday. But what is Hanukkah supposed to mean to us? Why do we actually celebrate it? I know, the candles in the temple, they only had enough oil to last them one day, and boom, miracle of miracles, it lasted for 8. It's a nice story, but for the adults among us, have you ever given this holiday a second thought? What are the deep values of Hanukkah that are supposed to transform my soul? The values I can teach my kids, the ones I can be really proud of. Because once we're taking an adult look at Hanukkah, Hanukkah has a lot of problems. Problem number 1, the miracle. I get it. There's not enough oil, then there was enough oil, but come on, 2,000 years later, we're still celebrating the oil thing? It almost seems like a cheap parlor trick, like those birthday candles that don't really blow out, but cooler, because God did it. I mean, just take a look at the rest of our holidays. Pesach, you've got the splitting of the sea, 10 plagues, those are huge miracles. Shavuot, we celebrate the moment where our entire nation heard the voice of God and received our founding document, the Torah. Even PURIM, without any open miracles, was a really big deal. I mean, the stakes were really high. Haman was going to wipe out every last Jew in the known world. And then we were saved. So I get why I, thousands of years later, am celebrating that. Because I would have been dead. What would have happened if the oil had gone out after the first night? Nothing. The miracle was inconsequential. I'd still be around. And it's not like every miracle ever gets its own holiday. The Torah is filled with hundreds of miracles. Yehoshua bringing the walls down at Jericho, or that time when giant boulders rained down on his enemies from the sky. We don't have Giant Boulder Day where we say Hallel and bake boulder-shaped cakes. So why does Hanukkah merit its own holiday? But maybe problem number 1 isn't such a problem, because, hey, we're adults now. We can admit that lights, the oil, that's not the real reason we celebrate Hanukkah. The rabbis emphasize oil because of light, spirituality, all that fluffy stuff. But the real reason we celebrate Hanukkah is the victory at war, the Jewish rebellion. We were free and independent in our own land, but then the Greeks invaded. They threatened our values, prohibited circumcision, Torah study. They tried to Hellenize us. This small band of Maccabees rose up against them and miraculously overthrew the most powerful army in the world. They restored Jewish political control of Jerusalem and recaptured the Beit HaMikdash. But if that's true, if that's the real reason we celebrate Hanukkah, that brings us to problem number 2. The victory against the Greeks was a miracle for sure, but what came from that victory? Independence? Religious revival? Not quite. The war only ended well in the short term. It was a miracle when it happened, but it also led to one of the ugliest political periods Jerusalem has ever seen. And in the end, our enemies were just too strong to overcome. Judea didn't win independence. It succumbed to Roman rule and ultimately the destruction of the Second Temple. In the final analysis, all the Maccabees managed to do was delay the exile by a couple of decades. The truth is, even if there were miracles, lights, improbable victories, they had no real significance, no lasting power, because corruption and exile were just around the corner. I know, it's kind of a downer, and I know what you're thinking. Why are you ruining Hanukkah for me? It's 8 days where I can cheat on my diet and get lots of presents. There can't be something wrong with that. You know what? There isn't. But I think there's a grown-up version of Hanukkah that's truly meaningful. There are deep values here that will impact you personally, thousands of years later. A story worth celebrating, something inspiring, something to be proud of. Hi, I'm Imu Shalev. In this video, together with Rabbi David Foreman, we'll go on an adventure to really explore the essence and meaning of Hanukkah. If you come with me on this journey, your Hanukkah may never be the same. Join me for the rest of this video series at aleph-beta.org, where we'll get to the answers to all of these questions. We'll be exploring what the essence of Hanukkah really is, and just why it's worth celebrating. Come check it out at Aleph Beta, link below.